Lady Angela here, and I'm excited to do this video. Lots of exciting things to talk about, and I have a guest here to kind of interview me and ask some questions that you all are dying to know. So without further ado, honey, what is the first question you'd like to ask? He's nervous. I hope all of you have been good. I hope the world's been treating you right. I know right now it's been a roughie on all of us. Almost like all of the planets have been off kilter. Honey, read it. You could do it. He's nervous. It's loud and clear, babe.
It's been a while since you've been on YouTube. What have you been up to?
I don't know if they heard it. Belt it out, baby. Belt it out. Fine. He's nervous. That's okay. So I'm pretty sure all of you have been asking, it's been a long time since I've been on YouTube, and what have I been up to? Yeah, it has been a long time, almost 5 whole years. As a lot of you know, I moved to Colorado. I started a brand new life for myself and my son. I got an amazing job at actually a convenience store. And I quickly moved up the chain, and now I'm the manager there. I've been managing it about 3 years now. I have the most amazing crew of people that I work with, my team. I tell them all the time, I'm so lucky to have the best, amazing, wonderful, bestest team in the entire world, in the history of teams and history of stores of all time. So it's a really good group. Also too, during that time, I bought a house. I moved. I love my house. I love my yard. I'm all the time playing and pittering and puttering around in my yard. And also too, this sexy man come into my store one day, and we hit it off, and we started a relationship. And I actually have married him. His name is Justin, and I've actually married this man twice now. So we are twice married, and all of these things in life take time away from certain things. You have to find room. And so one of the areas I found room was I had to put off the YouTube stuff, because I was now managing a store and I had a relationship. And so I didn't really have a lot of, my free time was already dedicated, you know, to things that were mattering at that time. Not that YouTube didn't matter, just I didn't have time for it at that time while I was making these adjustments in my life. Now, 5 years later, and after the very unfortunate passing of my dear friend Psychic Bob, I felt like it was time to make a comeback. So I'm here for all of you. I am going to do my very best, because I paid attention to Psychic Bob and his ways and methods, because we were business partners for a while. And I paid attention, and so I learned a thing or two from him. And I know that I need to have a schedule when I release videos for all of the viewers. So I'm going to do my best to self-discipline and get myself on a schedule for releasing videos. And in addition to that, some of the topics or things I want to have in my videos would be spells and rituals, showing off trinkets and Book of Shadows type stuff that I've made or I'm working on, working magic, teaching magic, also 2 tarot readings I would like to do. My father passed 2 years ago, God rest his soul, and when he passed, it was about 6 months later, and I took notice that my tarot readings would sometimes have this other different thing that would happen, and it came on like a tingling. I would feel a tingling like at the back of my neck, and if I acknowledged it inside my head, it would spread sometimes intensely, to tingling and goosebumps on the arms, the neck, the head, or all over. And I quickly realized that that was my dad, and my dad and we always promised that whoever would cross over first, that we would do everything that we may be able to open up whatever door or gift or blessing that we could possibly do and bestow it upon our family. And me and my dad would talk about that a lot, and we were very close, extremely close. My dad was very special to me. And after about 6 months of him passing, he became my gatekeeper, which is nice, because I never fully was brave enough to explore developing my psychic gifts more so because I didn't have a gatekeeper, and my dad, who better to be my gatekeeper. And not just that, but he opened up that door that I feel those tingles, and I receive messages now from the other side. Nothing like Psychic Bob did, no way. I would never try to claim to be able to do what he did with his gift. He was spectacularly special in every way. He was a great guy. He was a very dear friend of mine. But it took my tarot readings to a whole other level, so I want to do some of those with everybody on my videos and things like that. A lot of you have been asking about the witching hour, if I wanted to try and bring that back, and I just might. Maybe it'll be more like a once a month type thing and have guest speakers, like maybe Gavin or Tony or maybe even Carol. Yes, I remember you all. So that would be exciting. These are just things that I'm meditating on and sending up, and we'll see how Spirit brings them down to manifest. So another question that I had down on my interview here, my honey, he was supposed to read it, and you could have heard his wonderful, amazing voice. Come on, babe, read the second question. He's being shy. He's not shy, but he's being shy right now. So the second question I figured everybody out there was wondering and wanted to hear is, you're probably asking, so what happened between myself and Psychic Bob? Just all of a sudden, we seemed like we were no longer friends and that we were no longer working together. So I wanted to address that in this video. Pretty much, I already described the things I've been up to during this time. I've been away, and since I moved to Colorado, these things pulled me in a different direction to develop my professional and personal life. And so I had to pull away from the witching hour and YouTube videos and things such as that. Well, in addition to that, I was doing scheduling for Psychic Bob, and well, I do a lot of hours at my job now. I'm a manager, and so that's more like 50 hours a week, and the hours vary. And my off time, because it carries a lot of pressure and stress and anxiety when you have a position like that, and you're babysitting practically a whole team of adults. It's frustrating at times. It's stressful. My downtime didn't need to be working anymore. I actually needed legitimate, restful downtime. And so that didn't allow much room for doing things like all the scheduling for Psychic Bob's business, things like that. So Psychic Bob is a very dear friend of mine. I love him. He is great. He's on the other side. God rest his soul. He did a lot of great things for a lot of people. And blessed pointed head, he was a very jealous person too, even with his friends. And so there's a lot of things, but basically that's what it boils down to. He was jealous of my time that was then taken from helping him and interacting and doing videos, and it was therefore then dedicated to my job and my new relationship and my son and this new life. And so we just took a breather. We took a breather, and we didn't really talk much, but there wasn't really bad blood between us. It was just we needed a breather. And I reached out a couple times, didn't hear back, but life happens. And I didn't know why, but I let it, brushed it under the rug, no big deal. I found out after he died, or just before he died, that he got married. And as much as that came as a surprise, I was so happy for Bob. So happy. I didn't think he would ever find the one, and he finally found somebody who he loved and who loved him and all his specialness. And marriage, what a wonderful thing. He found love. He found a partner, and it sounds like it was going pretty good. I don't know much about this other person, very little, which leads me into my next question that I think you all are wanting to know. But he also had restraints on his time. Life happens, and so pretty much that's really all that happened between he and I and our friendship. Another question I figure you all want to know is, so this lady Cola, Bob's widow, has been attacking me publicly and even blaming me for Bob's death. How do I feel about this? Well, first of all, it's absolutely absurd and ridiculous and just stupid. He was a very dear friend of mine. He was a kind-hearted person, a loving person. he would never, ever attack myself or Gavin or Tony or anybody in the purple cord in the way that this woman is. Okay, with that said, Lady Cola, I don't know you. I don't. You must have been something special because my dear friend fell in love with you and married you and trusted you. What a great inheritance you have from him, and that reputation and that massive wonderfulness that he built in Spirit Channel. What a blessing for you to inherit that. I'm sure he felt in his heart he could trust you to carry the torch in a positive way. I have yet to see a positive video from you. It's very ironic and surprising to see what you do put out as videos, because it is so blatantly disgusting and combative and dark. I get it, you're hurting. This man you love died or was killed. I don't know. How would I know? I'm on the other side of the United States and haven't spoken to him in years. It is very unfortunate, and I understand that you're hurting. And maybe as a way to make you feel better, you want to pass that blame or displace the blame onto somebody else. I can assure you, nobody that knew Bob and was a friend of his would ever kill him, let alone attack people the way that you are. Truly. You must have some kind of special talents because he married you, and so you guys were close. Certainly similar in some regards. Why don't you be authentic and put out some videos that are not attacking good people? Thank you. So if you guys are wondering, do I still have a store? Am I still making books? How do you get a hold of me? The answer is yes, yes, yes. My website, rarewiccaspells.com, during the transition into having a life of my own and versus being bored, and I was able to have all this time on my hands while I was going to school online to run an online business. But essentially, once I moved to Colorado and got my full-time job, here's how my days were. I went to work for 8+ hours. I came home and I'm mom then. And then right after that, I would go right into on my computer printing orders. I had no downtime at all. I came home from work to work and be mom, and I managed to pay my bills and everything that way. When I got my promotion, it was a lot more stress, a lot more hours, and my downtime, I didn't need it to be filled with printing orders. And then I met the man I love and married. My time was more essential otherwise, and it was unhealthy for me to just print orders when I should be relaxing and decompressing. So I let the website go. I am trying to get reestablished on eBay and on Etsy. Weird thing is, eBay, they apparently don't like me anymore because I was dormant for such a long stretch. Even though I was with them for 12 years, made quite a bit of money, 100% positive feedback, never ripped off a soul. I never would and would never. It's hard to be a good seller on eBay, and I was a good seller, but for whatever reason, they will not allow me to list anything under my old store name. It is extremely frustrating. I've tried different things, ran into the wall. It's very frustrating. So I'm getting reestablished on there, and I do have 2 books I'm excited to show you that I made and have listed, but also I have a Etsy store. So I'm kind of giving that a whirl as well. Currently, there's not many views on there, people, so if you guys would click the link that I'm putting in the description box below, that would be awesome. Maybe, just maybe, if I get some views on these listings, Etsy and eBay will say, hey, look at this. This is good stuff, and put my stuff in front of potential buyers in search results. So anything you could do to pull up my listing, even if you looked at it once, click it again for me. I need the views. So I kind of started, I got magical sands in this book from my altar. Oops, see it? And it filled it up. It's got green magic sand. That was an oops. So what you see around me, this is what I call my she shed. This is actually my witchy temple. when I bought the house and I moved in, this was a garden shed, believe it or not. That first thing I did, me and my old man, I told him, okay, you got to pick a shed. That's your shed. So he picked, the man shed, the tool shed. And I picked this one. And I started chunking stuff right out the door. This got to go, this got to go, 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 go. And I totally redid it. And it's now my witchy hut. So behind me, you see my altar, which is where we will be doing magic in future videos. I just purchased a whole bunch of weapons. I really like the blades, like Hecate. I have so much blades, and check out this cool thing I got. Oh man, I always wanted one of those. Okay. So this is a book I made, and I've changed my style of making them. Something I started not liking about making the books on eBay was it kind of limited my creativity, because it was made to order and I was restrained by the different things that I had asked the customers to answer and personalizing their book, but I couldn't go all out with my creativity. So now I can, and I'm really liking that. So this book, it's kind of black and brown. It's real leather bound, sewn together. This is the front. My parrot Angel, Good Morning Angel, donated a little bit of herself to this book, as you see. There's glitter, there's a goddess there, there's stars. With my own hand, I've decorated some bits. I made a beautiful triquetra on the back, and again, with my own hand, I've decorated it. Added the bells and whistles and glitter. So this book is a blank one. It's made with heavyweight parchment pages. It has 100 pages. Something cool about this book is this. It has a pocket. Yep, figured out how to do that. See here, it opens up. You can put things in it. Bookmarks, scraps of paper, an herb, whatever you want. I've started a new binding method, and surprisingly, well, it takes like a fraction of the time as sewing the books together my old way did. But they actually, even the little books, look, they pretty much lay all the way flat. You could get them to a lot better than the old way. And it makes this really cool effect on the centers. So this one is blank. That is the inside cover. And it has the 100 pages. This one is a blank one. You can see the bind right there is pretty cool. And the back inside cover is pretty wicked looking. I love it, like this. I really enjoyed making these two books. It's been quite a while since I made some. And it has a purple bookmark. This book I have listed for starting bid is only 50 bucks. And shipping is super cheap. I do ship worldwide. It is currently on eBay, up for auction, as well as on Etsy. I'll put the links below, and if you would like me to make you one of these custom, I would love the opportunity to do so. My email address is also in the bottom, or you could contact me through Etsy email. That would be awesome. So this one is not blank. Again, I used a new method. This cover is a lot more lighter weight than some of the older ones I made, which had a really thick, heavy, almost like wood cover. This one is more flimsible, so it's lighter weight. I don't know how many pages is in this one. It's definitely more than 100, but I would say less than 200. I did something really cool with this one that I never did before. It's got a buckle. It's got a really cool purple dragon skin looking buckle that works. And it has this really cool, pretty bookmark. So, let me tip the camera down just a hair. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna open it. It's a real buckle, see, it works. You got stars, you got a little witch with a cauldron up here. It's pretty cool. So you open it, and here's the inside cover. It's got Mother Goddess there, big and pregnant in all the phases of the moon. It's very pretty. Throughout it, I used this purple paper to kind of like separate the sections. So there's my cover page, Book of Shadows. This book has, here is my, it's It's a little bit derivative work, but it's awesome, and I've put it in every single book of shadows I've ever owned or made that had printings. It says, these words and pages within this sacred tome have been fashioned by me deep inside my bones. Each picture, thought, and quote you see are all reflections of what's me. Only those so blessed by me may look within and secrets see. Otherwise, beware the urge to take this book or read it in some secret nook, because its magic is not blind, and I will know you touched what's mine. So mote it be. So inside this book, so one side of every page is blank, and this one is made with heavyweight parchment paper, just like my other pages used to be. And what it's filled with is crystals and stones pages. So I have some information on how to do crystal magic, like this here. I'm trying to adjust the camera for you guys. Let's see here. Here we go. So it's on crystal magic, and on the back side is where you can write stuff and add to it. A lot of people make these Book of Shadows and they fill it from cover to cover with info. Well, those are hard to personalize and make your own. Where my Books of Shadows are something a little bit different, because they encourage the owner to lay their own hand and ink in the pages, to put a bit of themselves into it and make it their own, personalize it. And in turn, by doing so, you add to its magic, you build a connection with your book. And we're talking about tingles in your hands. It adds extra electricity to your spell work. So then it goes right into, it has listing alphabetically the names of stones and crystals, as well as how they can be used in magic. Several pages on that, and blank ones so you can add to it. We have a purple divider page in a second. Coming up. Here we go. Then we go on to correspondences. And again, these pages were designed by me. This book was assembled by me. It's one of a kind, handmade, and truly a treasure to have. Here it goes into the different months. So a little bit of timing info. 13 moons of the year. Gemstones of the zodiac. Then we jump into the astrology zodiac section. Astrological incenses for each and every zodiac sign. Several pages of that. Then we jump into the correspondence for each sign. And each sign, I put them in here alphabetically rather than by their timing. I figured it'd be easier to reference. So here we have purple divider. Doggone it, where is it? Maybe not purple divider on this one. But the very first sign is Aquarius. And I thought of Psychic Bob when I put that in there. He was Aquarius. So here is the page I designed. Here's another popular one. This one was actually made by Amber K. And then here are 2 pages on the energies when the moon is in Aquarius. So each sign has its sections, such as that. Let's see here, here's on the Ram, here's on Cancer, and so forth. Well, the back portion I have made, so the first part is Zodiac, and a little bit of timing. The back of the book is made up of, my bad, the front of it is crystals and minerals and magic for crystals and minerals. And then it jumps right into a little bit of timing and then the zodiac, astrological signs. This book is available currently on eBay and on Etsy. I have the links down below. It is one of a kind, handmade, and looking for a new home.